This is how to replace a 2003 Altima Door handle. The door handle, it's broken, so I have a new door handle for it. Door handle, it's not painted silver, it's black. I'm probably going to put it in and take it out later and repaint it. I just want to get the car through inspection. First, you have to take off the switch trim panel. There's two hidden screws you need to remove. Both of them have a cap over them. And the first one is for the door release lever. The second is on the switch trim cover. Then with a pry tool, pry up on the switch trim cover. Pull the switch trim cover up and out. You can either disconnect the power plugs at the bottom of the switch block, or you can undo the 3 Phillips screws that hold it to the trim panel. Whatever you do, don't undo the the snaps down the side of the switch. Then remove the inside filler panel. Remove the cable ends from the door release mechanism and the door lock. Unsnap the cable from the control block for the lever for the door lock and the door release. And then you have to disconnect this. It's for the courtesy light for the door. You just pull on the this, and it's the lens, and it unsnaps. It just unsnaps like that. There's the courtesy light, and I think I'm trying to find out how to. It looks like there's a clip you push in on that to disconnect the connector, and so you just push in, push down the little lock tab, and then kind of push it in as you push the lock tab down, and then just push on this and it'll come all the way out. So just to recap, you should never take this apart. Take the take the 3 Phillips screws that hold this onto the bezel. Don't unsnap these. Front door is completely different than the back. It's got this like a removable insert. Undo this connector by just pushing in that tab there and pulling apart. All these clips out for the wiring harness, and I'm using this. Just getting in back of it. Just getting in back of it and pulling it out. Then remove all these 10mm bolts. Get a knife, a pocket knife, or a razor blade or something, and you got to remove this and this, and I'm going to look under this one too. Then you got to bring the window down to these 2 10mm bolts are seen through the opening. Then once you take those out, you can slide the window out through the top, or loosen it up really good and just take it out with a pair of forceps or needle nose pliers. this out of the channel and put it somewhere safely outside and pry it up. It's sort of like it's sort of like taking the digitizer off of a tablet or the LCD. Inside, and I'm probably gonna grease everything really good before I put it back together. And then you have to unclip the rod up there at the top. There's two 10mm nuts that have to be removed. There's one right there, and then there's another one right there. I got the far one out, but I have no idea why this one's not coming out. So I'm prying on sort of pushing on the handle and turning to the ratchet to see if a little force will make it come out. I think what's happening is there's a grommet, and I think it's cast in the plastic. It's just spinning in the plastic. So there's the, see, that's flipped down like that. What you have to do is set part right there. It looks like a U. That snaps down. Let's see if I can get the flip down again. That snaps down onto the rod, so you got to flip that up. And once you do that, you can pull the rod out. So you just pull the rod right out. I can't do it with the holding the phone too, but yeah, there it comes. So you just pull the rod out of the handle. I'm having trouble getting the handle out. I think what happened is, see, you can see this. What happened is the grommet pulled out of the plastic, and I think what somebody did is they glued the handle in. The other one, the bolt came out, but it'd be kind of lopsided if you just had one holding it in. So I think they glued the handle in. I'm having a real difficult time getting it out. That's the one thing about buying used cars that other people worked on. My nephew bought a Dodge Stratus that the electric window would work, and sometimes it wouldn't work, and you had to wait a little bit to get it to try again and everything. And I went in there, and the guy instead of disconnecting it, he just cut the wires, and then he twisted them back together again. He didn't even put any insulation around them. So I'll try some more getting this out. Well, I finally got the old door handle out in the new one, and later I'm going to paint it. I mean, the finish on this car isn't really that good. I'm still going to tape it off and everything, be really careful, but you know, I just want to get the handle in and get it working. I greased up the inside window channels. I hooked up the rod for the door handle and latched in the plastic safety guard that holds it in place. I just use a 10mm deep socket. I put it in there, put the nut in there, and just put it in there and just started to get it threaded. So I got two. You got one in there, and then one in there, and you don't want to tighten them down too tight. Just snug. So now I'm going to test the window. Wonderful. Door, inside door panel back on. I have to put this on next. This goes in the corner. These two clip in there, and then this goes into that hole right there. I'm going to put on the inside filler panel, and I have to hook these up. This one's for the to open the door latch, and then this one is for the to lock and unlock the door. Screw the switch block onto the wood grain, or if you don't have wood grain, I have wood grain. Screw into the back screw slot there, and the other screw goes right there, and then there's another screw that goes in right back in there, and then they both have a plastic filler cap that goes over top.